What is the new Crash Bandicoot going to look like for its 2020 release? Will it be the insane style, the mobile style, or something completely new? Let's talk about it.
Whoa!
What's up guys, Canadian Guy here and back with a brand new Crash Bandicoot video. So we are officially in what I like to call Bandicoot Month. I made a 3-part video series talking about the possible announcement time for Crash, and I originally had put my money on the PlayStation event, which was originally rumored to be on June 4th, 2020. Then, promptly right after I made those videos, Jeff Grubb, the leaker that I had referenced to, had come forward saying that the PlayStation event was actually going to be downsized because third-party companies had started to pull out of the event, likely due to Sony taking too long to reveal the PlayStation console itself and or to have their own games shine at a time that they felt was more appropriate and not have the PlayStation first-party titles overshine. Then 2020 found a way to, well, get worse and literally caused the world to be set on fire. The June 4th event was confirmed, but due to the world's current situation, it caused a massive shift across the gaming industry as a whole in favor of amplifying the voices of the protests. So just about every announcement was pushed back. So between both the protests, the pandemic, and the fact that the PlayStation event was being downsized, it's just gotten to a point where we can't put a lockdown on a specific date for this little marsupial. However, I have said it before, and I'll say it again, I'll say it for a third time, based on the past patterns and marketing timing, I still believe that Crash will be announced sometime this month, which is June. But enough about that, let's get to the topic that's been hotly debated in many threads, message boards, and, well, Twitter rants. If Crash Bandicoot is on his way back, and since we got 2 Crash Bandicoot remakes back to back, what is Crash Bandicoot going to look like? This has been a hot topic of debate. See, we got 2 remakes back to back, both Insane and Nitro-Fueled. They use the design that was well established since the Insane trilogy, so a lot of people are assuming that, well, right away, this is going to be the design that's going to be used by future iterations of Crash Bandicoot under the licensing of Activision. Case closed, right? Well, not quite. See, what has caused a bit of a jarring factor is that our fuzzy marsupial is on mobile phones now. Now, when Crash Bandicoot's mobile design was introduced, it looked, well, different from the Insane render. While the Insane render looks a lot just like a modern take on what the original Crash looked like, with, you know, more realistic hair, textures, and the stylization that still tries to match the original game style, but more modern, this Crash looks quite a bit different. This Crash has more of a blocky and animated look that isn't quite as texturized as the original model and is overall simplified. We also see tufts of fur on his chest and arms. The debate and argument is that because this is an early release of an upcoming full-fledged mobile game, this Crash will likely be the new art direction of the new upcoming game. Now, both groups of people both have arguments against each other. The main argument that the people who think that the mobile design will be the new direction is that simply, why change Crash's design for the mobile game when there already is a new and well-established one? The only reason that would happen would be that if there's a new upcoming design that's going to be in the pipeline. However, the main counter-argument that the people who side with the Insane design that's going to be used for the Crash Bandicoot 2020 is that the simplified design was made specifically for mobile phones and only for mobile phones because, like I said, it seemingly is less graphically intensive as a model. Also, why would they use the Insane render twice in a row, then all of a sudden change it? So, which side do I think? Will it be more likely the Insane design or the mobile design? My vote actually likely is something resembling the mobile design. Now, I just gave a sensible counter argument from the Insane side of things. So why do I think that the mobile render will likely be the new general art direction of the next Crash game? Let's take a bit of a deeper dive. The first thing is that the argument of the fact that the artistic design was for the mobile game in mind, that the simplified textures was due to the fact that most phones will not be able to handle the 4K hair that the Insane trilogy introduced. There's actually 2 points of contention here. Back when the original mobile design got leaked, there were test images floating around showing in-game prototyping. The model that they used for the prototype for this game was, You guessed it, the insane model, showing that phones could likely run this game with the insane 4K. Now, of course, this was part way through development. They likely made this new Crash design because it would work better with more phones. Then in that case, why would they use such a different model of Crash when you have the Nintendo Switch insane models, which are already down-resed? Why invest time and money into making a new Crash, Coco, Dingo Elf, and Embryo models, redesign them when you already have the Nintendo Switch versions that are down-resed? It makes no sense to put all the effort into new looks and models for something that is used for a free-to-play mobile game. You would want to cut corners and recycle as many assets as possible. Yet here we are with a brand new look to the entire cast of Crash characters. On top of that, the mobile game has a similar aesthetic to the Reignited trilogy, with the animated blocky aesthetic with simplified textures. In fact, if you were to put the Reignited trilogy's footage from the Nintendo Switch and then the Crash mobile game footage side by side, which theoretically would both be down-resed versions, you can see a similar aesthetic overall. It's also interesting because if we look at the 3 studios that have worked on Crash Bandicoot in the past, which is Vicarious Visions, Toys for Bob, and Beanox, they are all hiring specifically for the Unreal Engine, which ironically is the engine that Spyro used for the Reignited trilogy, which refers back to the concept that I have been saying for a long time, that I think the new Crash Bandicoot will be on the Unreal Engine. Now, remember how I just said that for a free-to-play game, they would want to cut corners and recycle as many assets as possible? I think it's because they are recycling assets, but not from Insane Trilogy, but from the unannounced Crash Bandicoot 4. My theory is that they decided to redesign Crash for the brand new game, and that this mobile game will be used as kind of a free-to-play teaser that will probably come out around the same time that the game does, using the same or similar models that would be coming in the full-fledged console release. Now, do I think that the design will look exactly like this? Well, no. I want to clarify. I think that what we see in this mobile version is a down-res version of what's coming. I think it will be a lot more fleshed out with a lot more cute fur placements and will look absolutely amazing. I also think this model here allows for a lot more goofy and anime expressions in comparison to the original Insane model. Though the Insane model is great, don't get me wrong, I think that the Unreal model will be much more expressive and allow for Crash to really show his wacky and zany side. Now, is it possible that there could be a third design? A design that's different from both the mobile and Insane designs that would be used in the 2020 game? Honestly, I doubt it. The reason being is that this would begin to get really confusing. The Insane render should be used for classic games, like the Insane trilogy, Crash Team Racing, and heck, if they ever decide to remaster any other Crash game, which I disagree with to be honest, they could use the Insane render for that. Then for the new games that are built from the ground up, they can use the new design that we have been discussing that would be, theoretically in the Unreal Engine. Having a third redesign though, just throwing that in the mix, it would just begin to get silly. But which design do you think should be used in Crash Bandicoot 4? The Insane design, the Unreal design, or something completely new? Comment below and let me know. A huge thank you to all those who support the channel through Patreon and being a sponsor on the channel. If you'd like to help it out, check out the links in the description below, where you can buy some CGE merch or become a Patreon. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe for more gaming and nostalgic content. Thank you so much everyone, and I'll see you guys in the next video.